Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where I'm going to be talking about my retirement. Yes, it's true. In 2026, this year, I'm going to be kind of stepping away on the anniversaries, and mostly it's 10-year anniversaries, but there are some exceptions, of a lot of the things that I've been doing. What I'm walking away from is not the bourbon industry. I'm not walking away from you, our audience. I'm just going to be doing things where I don't have a schedule that I have to adhere to. So right now, if you look at everything that I do, if you look at the ABV Barrel Shop, if you look at the Bourbon Show, the Bourbon Daily, Bourbon Zeppelin, Quick Bourbon Notes, and so much more, you're looking at, I start out on Monday morning knowing that I'm locked in for this upcoming week. 7 days a week I'll be working, and probably somewhere between 100 and 120 hours. And it could be more than that. So it's just makes it difficult to have much of a personal life. And I'm kind of to that age, I'm 58 years old, where you want to start retiring. And the biggest thing for me is there's no real road to retirement when you do what I do. There's not bourbon podcasters that are retiring. There's not bourbon writers that retire, really. I mean, for the most part, if you're a writer, you just keep doing that into your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. As long as you can keep going, you just tend to keep doing these things. And I don't want to go on forever doing the things that I've done. I do want to branch out and do new things. That's going to be something that we'll talk about after the break and kind of what's next. But I also want to focus largely on what's just going on with the Bourbon Daily today. A lot of the other stuff I'm going to cover in a special issue of Bourbon Zeppelin that is being released today. I'll put a link to that in the description, and I just don't want to repeat everything that I'm doing in all formats that I reach people. So I don't want to have the exact same episode of the Bourbon Show as the Bourbon Daily. I want to talk to Bourbon Show listeners about what's going on with the Bourbon Show, just like I want to talk to you listeners of the Bourbon Daily about what's going on with this show. But if you want to kind of get the full picture, you can click on the link in the description that will take you to the Bourbon Zeppelin article, and that kind of covers everything. And I even had anticipating questions and try to answer as many as I could that I thought you might have as you kind of read and delve into this. So that's the plan for what's going on today. And I'm just going to be focused on having more time in my schedule. That's very important to me. Right now, 7 days a week, I really don't have much of a personal life. Unless I put something, lock it in on the calendar, and I always say I can do whatever I want to do because I control my own fate. But that means getting it on a calendar 6 months out, and there's no spur of the moment things for me. I'm not gonna like, hey, let's go to dinner tonight. I'm like, oh, I got this booked up, or that I'm doing. So I'm just trying to get away from that stuff and kind of enjoy a semi-retirement, but still stay very active in a couple new projects I'm working on, and I'll talk about those after the break. Should be fun. So what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, I'm going to be talking about what's going to happen to the Bourbon Daily. And then we're going to have some fun. I'm going to tell you about what I have going next, just so you don't get confused and think that I'm just going away. I'm just going to be focusing my efforts on a different way in the bourbon industry and making sure that it's something that I can manage and still be able to have fun in a semi-retirement. So we'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Willie C. Moore, and I'm here with MB Rowan, and you're listening to the Bourbon Kit Daily.
You're right. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Colonel Steve, and I'm here at my home studio, and it is Monday night as I record this. It's coming out early Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock Central Time. So, and this is kind of maybe a shocking announcement for many, though I've talked about retiring early. My whole career, my goal was to retire at age 55. I didn't make that. I, had started the barrel shop and stuff like that, and kind of started a different trajectory. But, the passing of my good friend Jim Fosnot really kind of set in motion. I do need to retire. I do need to get away from a schedule. And I wanted to fulfill all of our commitments. And that comes up this year. Our lease runs out. And the barrel shop will continue. Still working on some details behind the scenes. But Jim and I always intended for this to be a legacy business. And we'll have some very big news about that very soon. In terms of the Bourbon Daily, it is going to go away. But not kind of traditionally how a show goes away. So December 12th, it'll be 10 years that the Bourbon Daily's been on. That's going to be the last official episode. It'll end a great 10-year run with McNew, with Miss Becca Sue, Justine, and the whole cast of characters that helps out as guest hosts and comes on and just has some fun. And I've enjoyed that. The show idea was solely mine. I mean, that's what's kind of cool about the Bourbon Daily. I had some collaborators on the Bourbon Show, but the Bourbon Daily was totally my idea. I wanted to come out with a show every day. People said you couldn't do it. Well, I did it for 10 years, so I think you can. And I'm going to have some fun with the Bourbon Daily moving forward. So the Bourbon Daily is going to kind of stick around. We're going to record another bonus 40 episodes, and I'm going to release one of those a year, meaning the Bourbon Daily will be on for 50 years. How about that? So you can, for the next 40 years, you can look forward to a new show each year where the crew gets back together. We'll be recording those over the next 6-7 months after the show ends. So we'll be recording sometime into probably mid-2027. And but again, and we're not going to try to fool anybody. We're not going to act like it's the year 2040 and try to answer things. We're going to be talking about, hey, we're doing this just for fun. We're keeping it on for 50 years. And I'm really excited about that as well. It's been an amazing, growth experience for my co-host. To see what McNew has done and what Miss Becca Sue has been able to do in the world of bourbon, it just continues to amaze me. I mean, McNew is viewed as, a top influencer, that type of person, and that's really cool. It's very rewarding for me to see that. She's as knowledgeable as anybody as to what's going on in the world of bourbon. And then Miss Becca Sue's really changed her whole life based on stuff that's happened, offshoots of the show, getting to meet Royce Neely, falling in love with Royce Neely, and moving to Kentucky and starting a life there with her now husband Royce Neely. It's just been so rewarding. It's things that you don't anticipate when you start out with the idea of, I'm going to do this show. I'm going to talk about bourbon. You never think all this other stuff will come in and you'll be part of people's lives. So it's really cool. And moving ahead, I'm going to stay in the bourbon business. But again, I'm focused on things where it doesn't tie up my schedule. I don't want to have to wake up on a Monday thinking, I've got 60, 70, 100, 120 hours here that I've got to account for. I'm going to focus on events. That's going to be one thing that I work on. And again, you can be like, well, there's a schedule when you have an event. Sure. But if I decide I want to take off the month of September because I just want to have fun, I just don't schedule any events the month of September. So it's going to be pretty easy for me to manage that. I'm going to do things when I want to do them. I'm going to do things that I want to do. That's the fun thing about events. If you do things the right way, it's not really a job. You're having fun. You're getting people together doing activities that you'd want to do anyway. So I don't view, even though that there is definitely work associated with events, and at times it can be stressful, I think that it's going to be something that I just absolutely love doing, and I'm looking forward to that. And then the other thing is Justine Mays, my co-host on this very show, and she's become a great friend through the years. Probably my best friend at this point. So I don't, maybe that's sad. I'm not sure. But cause I don't know, my friends that I had have kind of drifted away through the years because they weren't into bourbon. And I don't know, they because I don't do bourbon stuff and I don't have a home at the lake like the rest of them do, they have moved on without me. I'm stuck in this bourbon thing, and they've kind of continued to go on and have fun. And it's interesting to me that I kind of get left behind on that stuff. But I feel like I could still hang out with my old buddies, my high school buddies. But they're busy doing their own thing. So my bourbon friends end up being my best friends now, and very close to Justine. So we're going to be working on a new project along with Matt Modica. Matt also on the shows. It's called Copper Road Experiences. It's basically bringing the book that I wrote a few years back called Bourbon Assignments to life. In that book, I challenged people to do some different things, to experience bourbon. And this is going to be an app that has challenges for you to do at distilleries. And you can track them, you can plan them, you can get deals at distilleries and those type of things. And then if you do enough of the events on a specific challenge, you get a t-shirt. It's a pretty cool thing. Very much looking forward to that. And again, it's going to be work, but it's not going to be something that grinds on my schedule. So that's the focus. That's why I'm giving this stuff up. But I think we've got some cool things coming up with both staying on air for 50 years, having some fun with this thing, and, not locking myself in where I have to make sure I get a show 365 days a year. And again, if that was the only thing I did, I could probably still make that work, but there's a lot of other things I do, and I don't want to pick and choose. I feel like it's a good idea to just rip the Band-Aid off and get away from all the things that cause me to have a really locked up calendar. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to be this kind of semi-retired guy, enjoying bourbon and enjoying seeing you folks out there, and hopefully our paths cross and we can have a bourbon. Like I say in Bourbon's Up, you have to buy though, because I'm on a fixed income when I retire. So yeah, it's on you. That's going to do it for today. Like I said, the show will run all the way through December 12th. We'll be on like we always are until then. We'll have lots of fun, lots of laughs until then. But for right now, that'll do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya. Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.